Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning into Real Talk with Michelle. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, but I have a little bit of an allergy thing. So if I seem really nasal, it's because I am. I felt really good this morning. I decided to wake up and go work out. And for some reason, I'm like one in some weird number. It's always me that gets a little bit of sickness after exercise. Sometimes it has something to do with like my body, like probably just thinking it's dying. Like my body thinks it's dying immediately, is trying to attack something that doesn't exist. But I get this little baby cold, makes my nose run, makes me kind of congested. It only lasts for one day and then it goes away. But it's just like whenever I hype my body back up, usually I've been doing yoga, but I decided today, I was like, I'm going to pop back into my weight training. Okay, look, high intensity workouts and me are pretty crazy because anytime I've ever done one, anytime in the weight room, I always told people, I was like, I'm going to get sick as soon as I leave here. As soon as I go outside, intense sneeze attack, and then sick for the entire rest of that day, take a nap, wake up in the morning, gone. Anyway, sometimes it's gone, sometimes it stays. So that was my little thing for today. Today I wanted to talk about The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And the quote that I took from this book, first of all, this book has been beside my bed. I started to read it again for the third time, and I was like, all right. And it sat over there for some time. I like read 25 pages and I like just popped it over there and I got busy with a lot of other things and I never got back to it. So I picked it up yesterday and I was like, I'm going to start reading this. I'm going to go on my patio and like read a couple of pages. It's early in the morning. It's going to feel great. When I tell you, I ravaged through probably more than half of the book. I pretty much had a few pages left to finish today, and I finished them this morning sitting outside. But this book, I feel like whenever you pick it up, it's going to have a specific meaning to you at the time. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. If you have not read it, I highly suggest it. The quote comes from that book, and the quote is, "Well, there is only one piece of advice I can give you," said the wisest of men. "The secret of happiness is to see all the marvels of the world and never to forget the drops of oil on the spoon." Wow. That spoke to me because in different parts of this book, it's about a journey, the journey to finding one's personal purpose. And I know this is a recurring theme on here because it's so highly heavy in my life. And I feel like highly collective in a lot of people's life who are stepping into the next level of self-awareness, realization of certain things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to get done. And for me, this quote was really important because it's at a certain part of the journey that, you have to move forward and see the world in a different way, but you can never forget the proverbial drops of oil on the spoon. And the drops of oil on the spoon are pretty much from whence you came because each moment is leading you up to the moment where you get to marvel at different things that you've never seen before. So it meant a lot to me because, like I said, on this journey I've been through, I've had to let go of some of what I thought were or that actually really were. So I'm not going to say what I thought was important, but what was once important to me at one time. And that could be attachment to the things, and it could be really attachment to things, people, places, like where you live, your accommodations. You might want a bigger house, but you can't forget the smaller house that you started with. And you're moving in and out of different friend circles and realizing like maybe you and this other person don't have very much in common anymore and you're moving on. But it's not to say like I don't appreciate the role that these people have played, these friends, family members have played in my life. So it really struck me a lot because, as I said in the last episode, I had a moment. I had a quick moment of loneliness and really like kind of mourning those people a little bit to where I almost just felt like, am I ever going to meet people like this again? And the answer is definitely yes. But it does just make you want to take a second and say, where am I going? What am I doing with my life? How's this supposed to go? And a lot of friends have kind of hit me up about stuff like that too, that, they've kind of had going on. I kind of do find myself being a bit of like a mini, I don't even want to say counselor, just somebody that you can hit up and bounce an idea off of, or if you're kind of feeling sad about something, you can talk to me about it. I try to keep um, a really elevated mind when it comes to how I respond to people when they hit me up for advice or want to talk to me. I can kind of probably turn it around in a positive way 100% of the time. But I'm not looking to like help fix my friends. But we've all kind of been going through this moment of, where we're really trying to find our life's purpose, our life's work, our mission. And this book, The Alchemist, is really super, super important if you are starting to like realize your personal destiny, like why you're here on earth, what you're supposed to be doing. As I've, constantly said, I am meant to share my voice, to be a communicator. And all my life, I was always told I talk too much, I need to shut up, I need to be quiet, pipe down, all the things that kind of dim your light. And these things like happen in childhood, which this book talks about. Like we all realize what we're supposed to be doing, and we know in childhood, but what happens is other people kind of break that structure down for you to where you start to kind of dim your personal light and you start to go on paths that other people think you should go on, and you should follow your parents' mission for your life, or you should follow behind your friends and do the same things that they do, when in reality, we really need to find our personal mission, our personal goals, and really work on expounding those. And most of the time, it comes back to you, it comes back around, because in the book, a big theme is the universe is conspiring to pretty much give you all the things that you want, all the things that you need, and your heart will keep edging you and keep nudging you and saying, remember that one thing that you wanted to do? You kind of got to like move forward. I know you want to stay back here and like think of these things, but put those drops of oil in your personal spoon. Add those people, those places, those things into your personal spoon and really love those things, but move forward, because if you keep trying to ignore your heart, eventually, like they said in the book, your heart will stop speaking to you so loudly, and eventually it's going to leave you alone, because your heart doesn't want you to live in regret. Your heart doesn't want you to still hurt over your missed opportunity to go after what you really want in life. And wowzers, like the rest of the story, like I don't want to give away, but just in case you want to read the book, I feel like most people I know already have, but um, it's really important that we find our voice, our work, our mission, and we can't forget about the people that got us to the places that we are. For me, it's more or less like people. I had no problem leaving home for college, so I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I love Memphis. I'm just going to say, when it was time for me to like pack up and head 200 miles to the east, I was not afraid to do so. I have not been back since. I mean, I've been back home, but I have not ever really wanted to move back home. I just didn't feel like it was the place for me. But it left me in Nashville, and it left me to really kind of not be around those familiar structures of family, of friends, of schools, of pockets of things that I was really comfortable with. I really did have to make my own way in the world. And I'm sorry if you can hear my animals in the background. It's like when they hear me talking to myself, they're just like children. They want to make sounds. Their sounds are akin to being like, mommy, mommy, mom, mom, mom. They don't need my attention right now. But I do want to say I had to leave Memphis to come to Nashville to really grow up a little bit more. I find that now, so this next part of my life really is starting to say, all right, Michelle, so that's enough. Like, not to say to fall off a family, but to continue to elevate even more. So, you started this wonderful business, and changing the structure of this business allows you a little more time at home to do the things that your soul craves. So my soul craves to create and to speak and to share messages with everyone. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Again, we're talking about a quote from The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And the quote was, there is only one piece of advice I can give you, said the wisest of men. The secret of happiness is to see all the marvels of the world and never to forget the drops of oil on the spoon. All right, guys, I'm going to come back with the daily gratitude, but we're going to stop for a second, take a break, and hear a word from our sponsors. All right, welcome back, guys. So today's gratitude for myself was to be able to have access to books, to read them and understand them. And I know that seems so crazy, but I've been a voracious reader my entire life. Our attic at home is probably still full of books. I've taken a lot of my favorite ones out, favorite children's books, but we had so many books, so many encyclopedias, so many things, dictionaries, everything that we needed to have information. And stories were a great way. Books were a great way for me to put myself in another person's shoes or go on an adventure, like learn something new. I love books, and books, the more and more I've been getting back into reading, because I went into a moment where I was like, all I have time for is an audiobook at best for the 15 minutes I'm going to be in the car or the 30 minutes I'm going to be in the car. And I really have been enjoying turning pages. It's a little bit into October now, and I've read 3 books. I've finished books that bookmarks have been in, halfway read, didn't give 2 bits of thought to them, but I'm really, really grateful to have access to books, to literature, to reading, because that's not a reality for everyone in this wonderful world, to be able to have access to books, to read them, or to understand them. So that ability, I know, is a blessing for me, and I'm ever so grateful for it. And today's guest gratitude is from a friend of mine. I think I told you guys I sent out a message to a lot of my friends unexpectedly, and I just asked, friends and family, I just asked them what they were grateful for. And the answers I got back were a plethora of different things, and some of them made me cry, and some of them just made me really happy that I know these people that can wake up every single day and find something to be grateful for. And the guest gratitude is from my friend Kendrick, and he said the ability to love. And I really, really love that one so much, because it is love, which is also a central theme in The Alchemist, because love is everything. Love is the most central and most important emotion. Like, we are love. All of us are love. We are love in some form or another. And the ability to be able to give it to another person, to mean it when you actually say it, to know what it actually feels like to be loved, is one of the most amazing feelings in the world. And I have been blessed to love so many people, and to still love so many people, to love Kendrick too. I've just been really blessed to be able to have loving hands around me, loving hearts around me, loving food made for me, like the world opening up for me just from the ability to love. So thank you, Kendrick, for sharing that with me. And I want to end by calling you guys to gratitude. What are you grateful for today? What did you wake up and you notice? It can be the smallest thing, the most mundane thing, to the most grandest, greatest show of gratitude you've ever experienced. And I definitely want you guys to share those with me. Start now. I have a few people that's done it, but I need more of you to send them to me. They fill me up. They make me feel so great. So today I say your call to gratitude is to just say one thing that you're grateful for. email me at realtalkwithmichelle@gmail.com. Share your gratitude, and I'd love to share them on one of the episodes of the podcast. Also, if you're reading anything that you think is really good, tell me. I'd love to read it. I'd love to be able to share different books with people and different things that they can read that kind of can enrich our lives and help us figure out what our personal purpose is on this earth, or not even personal purpose. Some books are just funny and suspenseful, but I take a little bit from everything. So I want to call you to gratitude. Make sure you email me at realtalkwithmichelle@gmail.com. You can also leave a voice note in Anchor if you prefer. And it's been really great chatting with you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the week.